Happy World Water Day to everyone again. This is Michiko Hayashi from Emerald Peace Project in Tokyo. This time, I'm so happy. We have Kristen Nicole from Hawaii, and she's also a Hado instructor. She became a certified Hado instructor in 2018, I believe, and she lives in Big Island in Hawaii. Hi, Kristen. Happy World Water Day.
Hi. Aloha. Aloha, Mashiko. How are you?
Well, how are you? Well, please tell us about yourself. I know you have a retreat center in Hawaii.
Yep. So I'm on the Big Island, and the Big Island has all the different climate zones. So from the mountaintop from Mauna Kea, we've got snow. It's the tallest peak in the entire world.
Wow.
And then down to where I'm at is on the East Rift side, on the volcano side of Kilauea. And yeah, Hawaii is the most isolated landmass. So we're in the middle of the ocean.
Wow, yeah. Well, we are in the middle of the ocean also. In Japan is also.
Yes.
But Hawaii is really much smaller than Japan, and it's such a sacred, beautiful place. You know, I have actually, the last time I went was many years ago. So I've been always wanted to go to Hawaii again. But just share us about what you do and how you are related to water and astrology and everything.
Yeah. So I completed the Hado instructor training in 2018 and then moved out here shortly after, maybe a month after.
Yeah.
And where the area is, it's called Puna, and Puna means springs.
Oh, is that right?
In Hawaii, Olelo.
So you have a lot of springs there?
Yeah, it says sacred springs that are heated through the volcano. And then there's so many interesting water facts. There's the rains. So the Hawaiian people would name all the rains. And so every time it would rain, there would be a special name just for that particular rain. So there's actually a book, I don't have to get my hands on it, but there's a book of all the different rains that have ever happened on the island.
The names are always different. I mean, who names them, and how? I mean, is every rain different? I mean, do they have all the different names every time? All of them are different?
Oh my gosh, yeah, there's different, yeah.
What kind of names do they have, for example? I'm so curious.
Let's see. Yeah. Well, it's I'm not sure the specific names because my Olelo is not that great, but the rain god is Lono. So a lot of people associate the Big Island with Pele, the volcano goddess, but Lono is actually one of the 3 male gods. He's the god of fertility. And so he governs all the rains that come down, with Kanaloa, who's in the oceans. And yeah, there's so many different water mythologies out here. It's just so rich. And then with the spring waters, the sacred spring waters. Recently, one of the kumus was explaining to me that just to connect back with the healing center, the reason why so many people need healing is because they don't have the ocean around them. So when you're so connected with the waters and so connected with the ocean, you can always go in to cleanse and purify. And so when as people were disconnected from that, then it can build up different toxins.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's just so beautiful. I could keep going, but there's there's a lot of beautiful water mythologies.
So do you know who names the rains, and how does it happen, or how do they name them? I'm just curious. Well, probably you may not.
I think it was so, I'd be curious if there are people who are still doing it today, but there's a book that you can get. It's about this thick, and it has rains throughout the last hundreds of years, and it has each of them that are, they have a special name or a special prayer for each time it would rain.
Wow, special prayer also.
Ancient practice. Yeah, it was an ancient practice, and there's little write-ups, and they're almost like like idioms or sayings, and so the island, the Ohana is so connected that
Mhm.
when it would rain, it would impact everybody, and so there was mythology built up around the different types of rains. Yeah,
Wow,
it's really
interesting.
special. There's so much. Yeah, it's so
That's,
special.
I have never heard of that. I mean, God, that's really interesting. So at your retreat center, do you use any water to help people, to heal people, or do you, how do you help people with them at your retreat center?
Yeah, yeah. So there's a lot of different activities. There are springs. There's hot springs close by. There's a property called Pele's Breath where you can go into different caverns that have you can actually use the steam from the volcano to
Uh-huh.
cleanse.
Mm-hmm.
So every new moon, there's actually a new moon women's circle around kind of cleansing in the steam off of the volcano.
Mm,
Yeah, and then there's here at this property there's a colon hydrotherapy,
mm-hmm.
and so we have people coming in all the time and working with that if they're detoxing or they're on a juice cleanse, and working with that technology,
Mm-hmm.
and then to cleanse out parasites and other toxins in the gut.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then yeah, just down the road, friends of ours have another property that's a hot springs. So, and those are just soaking tubs,
Mm-hmm.
using the water from the
Well,
ground. So
hot springs are
there's lots of. Mhm.
here in Japan. We use hot springs for healing, treating people too. I mean, a lot of patients with cancer go to the, well, there are actually really hospitals with hot springs in their hospitals to help people with the
Oh,
cancer.
that's so beautiful.
Yeah,
That's
so
so beautiful.
mhm,
That's what I would like.
that's something that
Yeah,
maybe
it's
you can do in your retreat
right.
center
That's
too.
true. Yeah. What's happening down here is the Hawaiian practice of plant medicine is called la'au apa'au.
Mm-hmm,
And so it's a combination of using the different types of elevation and different types of understanding of the land here
mm-hmm,
to produce the best medicinal plants. Alina, the turmeric is
mm-hmm.
widely used here. There's a lot of different herbs and things that grow really well on the islands, and so yeah, there's just a real focus to bring back a lot of those healing modalities, to work with the different herbs, to work with the different elements, fire, water, earth, and air, and
Yeah,
ethers,
right.
and the
Elements, yeah.
stars, going
Mhm,
into the astrology. But
mhm.
yeah, to work with the storytelling, the mythology, and all the different beautiful elements and flowers that Hawaii is so fertile. It's yeah, to kind of
Beautiful.
reverse, the reconstruction, to reverse a lot of the development that's happened, and
Mhm.
yeah, return people back to nature.
So how do you help people with your, I mean, from with your method? What is your specialty to at the healing center, your healing center?
Yeah. Lately, I've been doing a lot of astrology. I've been
Astrology.
diving more into my astrology practice.
Mm,
Yeah, because I find that as people are navigating their own experience,
mhm,
right? Like people will come out after they'll come out seeking a lot of different things, and
mhm,
so in my approach to healing, I use a lot of um the tools and the approaches that I've used and learned in astrology
mhm,
practice
mhm,
to pull out from how people are thinking from their psyche,
mhm.
and pull into the heart, because that's ultimately what healing is, right? It's bringing people from the head and into the heart to
Right.
remind them of their connection.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
once, because right.
Mhm. Oh, go ahead. Yeah, continue.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because we're all water, and it's, yeah, the Hado vibrations. And so working with the elements, and I'm a water, I'm a super Scorpio and Pisces moon. And so a lot of my understanding is in the emotional realms and
Mhm,
helping people navigate the etheric and emotional realms in order to learn how to be better healers to themselves. You can't really heal somebody else. It's all inside of us.
That's
But
right.
you have to helping people navigate back to themselves, and the archetypes in astrology and the elements help to do that. And actually, Hawaiian astrology is extremely interesting because it's one of the lunar astrologies. And
Oh.
so it's experiential. Yeah, and the lunar astrologies again are more water focused, right? Because the moon is
Right.
rules over the tides and
Ocean. Yeah, tide and yeah.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah, and so the Hawaiian astrology is very much tuned in to Mahina, to the moon, and the practice is to kilo every day for 15 minutes. And
To who? To what?
the word is kilo, Kilo.
Kilo. Uh-huh.
Kilo. Yeah, the kilo practice
Kilo
in
practice.
Hawaii, and it's what it is that it's a practice of being aware to watch the moon rise and the moon set.
Wow.
Yeah, so instead of we're so used to watching the sunrise and the sunset,
Right.
but in
But
Hawaii
moon,
it's so feminine, right? It's the
feminine, very
feminine
feminine.
beauty. And aloha is the beauty way. So it's how to heal people by tapping into those energies. And so yeah, the kilo practice connects you with the energies of the moon and can help enhance your intuition on this
Wow.
land.
That
Yeah,
sounds
it's
really
magical.
beautiful. That sounds really nice.
Yeah, it's the place for intuitive spiritual powers. And Hawaii, they call that mana. It's your mana, it's your confidence and your um your powers. And
So do they
so
do you still use a lot of Hawaiian language, native language there, or how
I'm
does
learning.
you're learning?
Yeah, so it's so fascinating. Yeah, so Olelo, the language of Hawaii, and one of my goals is to work. I have to get the team together, but to translate Dr. Emoto's the Peace Project book
Oh,
into Olelo.
oh wow.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
wonderful.
yeah.
Oh
This is a
yes, you
project
can
that
do
ever
that.
since I've come here,
I
I'm
would
like,
love you to
okay, we
do
have to
that.
do
You mean
this.
this book, right?
Yeah, yeah. So I have to find that one.
Mm-hmm. Well, do you
Yeah,
have
so I don't believe anyone has translated it into Olelo yet.
no, no, not yet. No.
Yeah.
I have the
Yeah.
the word data for people to translate, so that makes it easier. So I can send it to you so that you can have it whenever you find anyone who can help translate it into the Hawaiian language. That's really
Beautiful.
exciting.
Yeah.
And
So
this really
exciting.
helps
It's so
children. I
exciting.
mean, once they learn about this when they're small, their life really goes really straightforward with love and compassion and all the beautiful things. And actually, this really teaches you the law of attraction, because it's a law of the universe. Whatever you think is really, I mean,
Right.
every single moment we are creating our reality. So
Exactly.
once
Exactly.
children learn
Right.
it,
And that frequency.
yeah, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Well, what I was going to say about Olelo, why it's so powerful is it's a language of Hado. It's a language of frequency.
Wow.
And so English as a language and the connotations, there's periods, there's we can be actively working in spells just because the language is creating boxes and creating separation.
Mm-hmm.
And Olelo is the opposite, where the language, aloha, aloha, when you say the words,
Mm-hmm.
the vibration of the language is working in the Hado fashion in our frequency to elevate the spirit.
Is that right? Wow, I
Yes,
didn't know that. That's
it's
beautiful.
so powerful.
That's powerful too. Aloha means what?
Very,
Aloha and
it's
mahalo,
very, very
right?
powerful.
You have, we do have water crystal pictures from aloha and mahalo. And
Oh, wow.
They're beautiful. And Dr. Emoto said, aloha and mahalo both together means love and gratitude. I don't know. And I think that's something
Oh,
that
yeah.
he learned when he was in Hawaii. It's a they're really
Yes.
beautiful crystals. Have you seen them?
Mhm.
You
Yes,
have?
yeah, I have the stickers, and I actually think that Dr. Emoto came here where I'm at, and also went to the steam vents down the road too.
Oh,
So it's a really special place.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
Well,
really
Dr.
special.
Emoto loved Hawaii, and I know he went to Hawaii many times. I wanted to go too, but I never got to go. Anyway,
Yeah, it's a very, very sacred place. Every time, every day that I'm here, I just give gratitude of expression to the land, to the Aina. And I say, okay, if I'm ever outstaying my welcome, just let me know, because
no.
it's such a precious gift to be able
Mhm,
to be on the islands. And it's been interesting with COVID because of the tourism and the relation to the tourism, and understanding how perhaps all over the world we've taken for granted
yeah.
the precious gift of being able to walk on sacred land. So we had when I first came out here, there was a lot of activity up at the Mauna Kea, and all the Kapuna, the elders, were up there protesting they're trying to build more telescopes on top of the Mauna,
Hmm.
and it's a sacred, you know, a sacred site. And so
Yeah.
there's been a lot of activity out here to try to slow development, and to
Hmm.
try to plant food, particularly for food security, because there's 85% of the food is imported
Oh, wow.
on the islands. And so
Hmm.
if there was ever any issues,
You won't have
and
enough food.
it's such fertile land, you could have there's right, exactly. In a place where you can grow pineapples in 2 years, where you can grow papaya, there's plants that are keiki plants, they call them, which are babies. Keiki's the word for children.
Oh.
And the keiki plants take 9 months to fruit. So in a land where it only takes 9 months to grow taro and um, papaya, and there's one more, I'll think of it. But when you
Oh,
have this abundance
yeah,
of
you
being
do. I
able
mean,
to grow
Hawaii
these beautiful
is rich
plants.
in fruits
Yeah,
and in all the herbs and everything, and I'm
yeah.
sure that if you don't really have so many people coming in from outside, you have everything. I mean, enough of everything for everyone living in that
Mhm. Mhm.
small
Yeah, so
island.
it's a lot of education, and the La'au Apa'au practices is um being very mindful in understanding and learning how the Hawaiians have worked with
Hmm.
different plants.
Hmm.
Um so yeah, I'm very blessed. I'm very
Good.
blessed
Well,
to be here.
I'm happy for you. So, do you plan to live in Hawaii for a long time,
I
or?
think I really do feel that the spirit of the land
Hmm.
moves you. So they say that the chakras are the 7 islands, and so on Big Island here is the root chakra,
Oh,
and go up. Yeah, Oahu is the sacral, and Maui is the heart, and Kauai is the crown. So as you're yeah, so they
wow.
say that it's on your spirit journey as you go through the islands and
Hmm.
acclimate, that you're actually working through karmic issues.
Hmm.
So here I am, just working out survival issues.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Well, so originally you're from the U.S. And what part of the U.S. are you from?
So my parents are from Rhode Island, and
Mhm.
I grew up traveling. So I actually lived in Japan, in Yokohama,
In
when I
Yokohama
was
too?
yeah, when I was little. I went to Yokohama International School, and we lived. I grew up looking right out Mount Fuji. I had a view of Mount Fuji
Wow. So
at
did you
my
know that Dr.
home.
Emoto was born and lived in Yokohama also?
I know. Yes,
Yeah,
I do
yeah,
know that.
yeah.
I do know that. It's very special. So I
Yeah.
must have, it's funny. I think that's probably why I know I knew, later in my life to do the work, and it
Mhm,
was like remembering it.
mhm,
When I came across the work, it was a remembering, because as a
mhm,
child, I probably was imprinted with the emoto, with the work as a
mhm.
child.
Right.
So I'm sure we learned about it in school, and yeah, so
Wow. So,
yeah.
well, happy to hear that you
So
were
it
here in Japan too. Well,
yeah, Japan is so special. It's
it
so
is. I think
special.
so. I really like um, Japanese language because almost all of the
Mm,
languages that I know, every single languages have its own. When you say I have a book, I know this. The subject I comes first, right? Or you do
mhm.
this. Your subject is here, right there. Who we we always in the different languages, we are always saying who is doing this. I am doing this. You are doing this. They are doing this. If someone is doing this, but in the Japanese language, we don't, a lot of times we don't have, most of the times we don't have the subject. So we don't
Yeah.
really um, appeal our, ourselves too much, but instead
Yeah.
we're stepping back as a person so that we can be in harmony with others together instead of me doing this, me being appealing to
Hmm.
others. So
Right.
that's something that I really like about Japanese language, you know. So
Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you for sharing.
thank you.
Yeah, that's
Well,
beautiful.
so
I
well, I'm
feel like
glad that
that's what we're trying to reverse.
that's what we are
Oh,
trying to what? Excuse me?
well, in America or in the United States, it's, there's a lot of like vanity, and a lot of times when people are in conflict in relationship, it's I,
Yeah. Yeah.
you, and
That comes from
wonder
our
why we have
ego or yeah,
issues.
right, right. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I
And they
think
come to the healing centers.
w- yeah, time is changing now. So I think everybody has everybody's learning to live in harmony with other people. So, it'll change.
Mm,
I mean, it
yes.
started to change. I can see that with this COVID, so many things have changed already. And things that we took granted, I mean, we can't anymore. The things that we thought
Exactly.
they were here naturally, always, they're not here anymore. And things like that. I mean, the things that we could do
Exactly.
all the time. And like me, I, for me, traveling was part of my life. And it was so
Right.
natural for me to be traveling all the time. And all of a sudden, just stopped. So, I mean, I was
Mhm.
taking it granted, but now I go, well, it's time for me to be here at home and just learn how to express myself and to share with everyone. Being here, all the skies are clear, much
Mhm.
clearer than before. Oceans clean, nature's happier. Human beings are the only ones who are wearing masks and talking about vaccines and all that. So,
Oh, yeah, it's been a wild one. I feel very blessed with the timing of it to be here. Um and but it's the economy out here definitely was impacted because so much of the tourism was stopped.
right.
But in some ways it's shifted the focus to some of the
Mm-hmm.
more important issues,
Mm-hmm.
and the issues of the really what the islands are going to be like, for the next generation. So it's been a blessing. I think it's been a blessing, right? If it's either a lesson or a blessing.
I think it's blessing. To me, it's a blessing because people really started to learn something, something that was really important for us to remember that for a
Yeah.
long time we've forgotten. But now, because of this, it's a blessing because we started to look back again and see what is really important. So, I mean, for us,
Yeah.
going to the office is important. Making money is important too, in a way, to be able to continue to live in this society. But that is not the only thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that we really learned. Many people started to learn, especially in Tokyo. So many people started to move out of Tokyo because they say, well, if I don't have to go into the office, why do I have to live in Tokyo? I mean, we can live in the nature and start working remotely from the different places. So it's really, people started to get back at home with family and do different things, enjoy being together, or doing some other things that they could not do. So I think it was, in a way, it was really good. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's been a much needed break.
Right. That's right.
It's we always talk about growth and oh my gosh, this growth, this endless growth, and it's like the whole world needed to meditate.
Whole world. Yeah, that's right. I like
So
that.
we're all learning. Yeah, but it's fascinating. I had my career in, or have had my career in solar.
Mhm.
And so the solar, even with that, it can get into a runaway economics. And it's important to remember, why are we doing this? Why are we moving from the coal and the gas and the nuclear and that makeup of power supply and introducing renewable energy into the system? And the reason why is because of frankly, a lot of it's because of the water
Mhm.
and the security of the water. But ultimately, to build this infrastructure and with the fracking and the gas lines, it's potentially disrupting to the environment, to the natural environments. And it might seem like all of these things are great investment for 50 years or 100 years, but these rivers and the waterways and the information that's stored in the waterways is thousands of years old. It's
Right.
timeless and it's priceless. And that's,
Mhm.
why water is life, because it's where all of the information, all the DNA codes are stored.
Stored. Yeah, yeah. And people don't
Yeah.
really realize that. They don't even think about it, and they just take it granted. But actually, it has
Yeah.
everything in it, and it is really life. So we shall
Yeah.
always remember and appreciate
Yeah.
it and
The
respect it.
sacred.
Go ahead. Hmm. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say the waters. So in Mauna Kea, a lot of the protests about the TMT are that the understanding. Well, first there's Holiaku is the woman who is the goddess of the snow, is the soft, gentle snow, the bosom up on the Mauna. And
Mhm.
so why would you want to disturb the gentle, I'm sure with Mount Fuji, it's the same. It's these gentle snows that happen. And
Mhm.
why would we want to disturb that with anything? And
Mhm.
so we're disturbing that goddess um by disrupting the landscape and overdeveloping that area. But also there's an understanding that the crystalline structures in the water within the mountain
Mm.
and even below
Right.
are ancient water networks that are potentially connected through Mount Shasta and some of the other waterways, the Sierra
Mhm.
Nevadas and the Weechal people, and they connecting all of Turtle Island
Right.
of America, of North America and South
Mhm.
America and Canada. And so in Alaska, even we get a lot of people from Alaska. And so understanding how these decisions impact the water channels and what that
Mhm.
really means. So they, yeah, it's just a really fascinating time to be alive. It's really amazing.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, yeah. Well, with that, well, we shall be finishing this, and then if there's anything you would like to share with people, or would you like to give out your website or contact or anything, I can make a banner.
Yeah, for astrology readings. So those, my website's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it's quantumvenus.com.
Wow. Quantum.
Yeah, venus.com, and that's where I have the information for Hado readings, but those are um well, they can be done in person or remotely.
Remotely.
And then
Okay.
for yeah, astrology, and then also Reiki. I'm a Reiki master as well. So those are kind of my energy in addition to the solar energy. But it's all Hado, it's all vibration. It's, you know, just like Tesla said. And so understanding that sometimes it's these big national energy systems. Sometimes it's just our thoughts and
Right.
our bodies.
Yeah.
And we have to be able to understand and optimize the frequencies in all of the different scales. So
Okay.
yeah, it's a beautiful, yeah. It's the astrology is also cosmobiology. So it's more of looking at how we're kind of walking backwards through our star chart in order to understand the archetypes to get back to our original DNA codes. So that's what I do within the individual sessions.
Well, it sounds interesting to me. So people can contact you from this website of yours?
Yes.
Okay. When they go to your website, they can contact you. And you can help people with
or through Facebook.
Oh, yeah, Facebook too. So your name is Kristen, Kristen Nicole.
It has my Nicole, and there's a space avatar there. So the picture is a space girl.
All right, great. Well, thank you so much, Kristen.
I wanted to share.
Go ahead.
Oh, thank you. Oh, I wanted to share one thing, and my friend Shola is an artist, and she made this, and it's just a really special water piece that I wanted to share. Wow. It has 25 different colors of blue. So it's
25 different colors of blue.
And it's embodying the spirit of the water. And you can see if I hold it up close, there's lots of gold.
Wow. Is that made by bees? So, they're bees.
Yeah, it's made by beads, and a dear dear friend of mine did this beadwork.
Wow, that's really pretty, beautiful.
Yeah, to represent the different vibrations in the water. So I just wanted to share and give gratitude and thanks for that.
Thank you. Well, that's, do you wear it?
Yeah.
Is that the bracelet?
Yeah, I have it. I just have it on my altar, but yeah, you could wear it.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing. That's really pretty. Wow.
Wear any type of ceremony. Oh, it's incredible. And you know, really honoring the water protectors and the water spirits.
Wow, amazing.
It's so important for everyone, to always remember to say thank you. The water, I know we know this, but to give gratitude for every sip and every waterway, every rain. You know, when Lono comes here, I'm always giving appreciation and thanks to Lono. Thank you, Lono. Thank you, Lono, for clearing out the ethers, but clearing out the energies with the beautiful rains that we get here. And just to give gratitude every time we take a shower, every time we bathe, all the waterfalls that that are out there, just to always be thankful to the waters. Thank you for cleansing our spirits and our souls and keeping us healthy and happy and clean. Yeah.
Well, wonderful. Well, by doing that, blessing water, you're blessing yourself too. So it's a really the best way to do every day. I was so touched yesterday, to be honest with you. I was really touched, and I was so happy that so many people were blessing water, appreciating it, loving it, and respecting it all day from all different countries, all the people. By watching that, everybody do that, I was just so touched by that. And so I'm so happy that there's the day called World Water Day. I mean, I hope that every day should be water day.
Yeah, every day.
Every day should be a water day.
I know. It's like, okay, we did it yesterday. Let's keep doing it again today. And yeah, there's a really, really special place that I get to go to here outside of Hilo, and it's a beautiful river. It's where the river meets the ocean,
Hmm.
and it's the Sweetwaters.
Oh.
So a lot of the one of the things that's been coming up for me, and I don't know how I'm going to be delivering this, but it's this idea of the riparian dream and the river. It's the riverways, and so it's when we look at the balance of the earth and the riverways and the bends in the river and the respect that we can have for the riparian edges of the river,
Hmm.
it's like a restorative energy that's
Wow.
very, very subtle, similar
Uh-huh.
to the snow on the Maunas. The energy in the rivers is very subtle, and it often is a reflection of like Oshun, the Yoruba goddess in Africa. It's the mother.
Mm,
It's the mother energy. The
yeah.
breastfeeding, the nurturing is
Hmm.
where the energy of the mother lives in the rivers and
Mm.
in the sweet waters. And so yeah, I just want to leave that with everyone as well. Just this idea of the riparian dream, that we're in this reconstruction of all of us on this planet and healing Mother Earth,
Hmm.
that a huge part of that inspiration can come just from something as simple as a river's edge.
Sure. Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much,
Yeah.
Kristen. It was
Oh,
beautiful.
thank you so much.
Well, we
You.
should see each other again like this. It's so nice
Yes. Yeah.
to be able to see you here.
Oh, it's so nice to be able to see you and send so much of my love to Hero and to the
I
whole
will.
team
I
back
will.
in Japan.
In my office. Today I'm working from
Yeah.
home, but tomorrow I'm going into my office. So I'll tell everyone. You said hello to everyone. Okay.
Oh, beautiful.
All right. Thank
Oh,
you,
thank
Kristen.
you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, happy World Water Day to you.
Happy World Water Day to you, to everyone, to our dear friends around the world.
Yes.
Okay. You have a
Oh,
nice
mahalo.
day. Bye. Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. Aloha.
Aloha.
Bye.